When was still out drinking with Marcus, I left behind the divorce papers, and walked away, signed the divorce papers, and well, leave each other in peace from now on. She instantly replied, don't bother with this useless stuff. I didn't care if it was useless or not, after all, I was dying. But later, she cried regretfully, begging to come back to me on our wedding anniversary. I longed for one last candlelight dinner with Sophia, something we hadn't done in a long time. Clock out on time today, don't go to any more work dinners, no matter who asks, you know your body. Sophia frowned in annoyance, took the shawl I'd prepared for her, and left without a word. Sophia and I were childhood sweethearts. We've been married for 5 years since graduating college. She was now the CEO's secretary at Sterling, while I was just an ordinary novelist. Sophia earned $3 million a year, but her work was too demanding. I'd constantly urged her to quit, but she saw me as a control freak trying to stifle her dreams and turn her into a housewife. I was 2 years older than Sophia and had looked after her since we were kids. She used to joke and call me her overprotective boyfriend, but she didn't know that diabetes has a certain genetic probability. After seeing Mr. Davis suffer daily from diabetes and Mrs. Davis dedicate all her energy to him, I felt pity for this neglected child, and always paid close attention to Sophia's diet and routine. Initially, because I gave her the warmth of a family, she always relied on me. Liam, let's be together forever, okay? In college, we naturally started dating, but in the year she graduated, she fainted due to kidney failure caused by diabetes. I carried her to the hospital. My body went cold when I saw the test results. In 22 years, I had already come to see Sophia as an integral part of my life. After the examination, my kidney surprisingly matched Sophia's. Since the hospital couldn't find a suitable kidney donor immediately, Sophia's kidney transplant surgery was urgent. Just like that, I went with her onto the operating table, because I wasn't by her side after her surgery, and her senior, Marcus, stayed with her day and night. She resented me for not caring about her and tried to break up with me several times. If it weren't for her parents' insistence that she marry me, she probably wouldn't have even looked at me again. On our wedding anniversary, I decorated the table with Sophia's favorite red roses, paired with the red wine she loved to drink but which I had always restricted. The flickering candles shed tear like wax, their crackling sound seeming to mock me. Around 8 o'clock, I called Sophia. The call connected quickly. Sophia, it's late, you should come home and sleep. From the other end, I heard the noisy clamor of Metro City, with endless laughter and chatter from social gatherings. But there was a heavy breathing sound on the other end. After I spoke, there was a moment of silence, and I immediately realized it wasn't Sophia. Who is this? Liam, this is Marcus, her boss. She went up to speak and didn't bring her phone. You can tell me what you need to say. The voice sounded familiar. I often heard it when I called Sophia, and the name Marcus was even more familiar, as Sophia always spoke of him with such praise. I choked for a moment. Don't you know it's rude to answer someone's phone without their permission? She's my secretary. It's perfectly normal for us to use each other's phones. What if a rudeness caused us to miss a huge deal? Can your rudeness be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions? I pressed my lips together, unable to utter a word. Ever since Sophia and I got married, she'd become increasingly reluctant to touch her own things. Because of her slight germophobia, she also disliked touching things that others had touched. The other side was silent for a long time but didn't hang up. When arrived, Marcus stood up. I heard the rustle of clothes, and, through their conversation, realized he was hugging Sophia. Someone called you. I saw you weren't there so I answered it for you. Is that okay? Sophia's tone grew heavy. It's no one important. If I am not around in the future, just hang up. My heart sank abruptly. I hung up the phone and placed it aside. I looked at my right hand, wearing my wedding ring, and then thought of the ring Sophia hadn't even worn on our wedding day. I let out a sarcastic laugh. I wondered when Sophia and I had reached this point, where we simply loathed the sight of each other. The food on the table had grown cold. I made myself a quick meal, and went to my room to sleep. When I woke up in the early hours, I saw Marcus' updated social media feed. In the video, Marcus was handing Sophia a drink, and the people around them were cheering them on. I also heard them discussing where to go next, but knew perfectly well she only had one kidney left. These high-intensity, unhealthy routines and habits would kill her sooner or later. Completely disillusioned with her, I left a letter with the divorce papers, leaving this person who was seeking her own demise. Because of Sophia's emotional abuse over the years, I had been under immense psychological pressure during that time. To prevent her from feeling pressured if she knew I was the one who donated the kidney, I kept my family from telling her. Now, I was dying soon from heart and kidney failure. Before I died, I just wanted to break free from Sophia and spend my remaining time enjoying it with Margaret and William, my family, sign the divorce papers, and from now on, we'll owe each other nothing. She saw it and instantly replied, "Don't bother with this nonsense, it won't work on me." Ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft is about to take off. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your mobile phones are switched off. Thank you. Liam, where are you now? Answer me. I scoffed, hung up the phone, and switched to airplane mode. My hand accidentally brushed my phone, and I saw Sophia's chat box, pinned at the top of WeChat. I involuntarily tapped on it. Don't drink coffee. Remember to drink the cool boiled water I prepared for you. If you need more, tell me, what do you want to eat tonight? I bought mini pumpkins. They are good for your kidneys. Don't forget to take your medicine. It's 8 o'clock. Time to come home and rest. The messages were scattered, and I couldn't scroll to the top. My WeChat was almost entirely filled with messages I had sent to Sophia before. She would reply every 2 or 3 days with the MHM. Got it. Also annoying. Can you stop talking about this all day? But eventually, she stopped replying altogether. I wasn't sure if she had blocked me. After arriving in the city where we grew up, the surroundings felt familiar, yet there was a chilling unfamiliarity that seeped into my bones. Liam, why are you back by yourself? Where's Sophia? My mouth opened and closed, but in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say that we were getting divorced. After all, from Margaret and William's perspective, I had donated a kidney. If divorced me, she would be utterly heartless. Mr. Davis had passed away years ago, and Mrs. Davis hadn't been in good health herself. My phone rang again, and Sophia's voice came through. I am not divorcing you. Know when to quit. Don't make me angry. Margaret, standing nearby, carefully asked, "Is that Sophia?" The other side paused. "Oh, he home. I wondered where else you could run off to. Say hello to me." And Margaret, just as I was about to say something, the call was disconnected. Margaret looked at me anxiously. "Is mad because you came back. Maybe you should go back quickly." "It's fine, Mom. She just asked me to say hello to you." Margaret finally smiled. "Oh, good, good. Sophia's doing well too." Seeing's reaction, I couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt, because I'd kept Sophia from knowing I was the one who donated the kidney to her. Sophia only felt that I hadn't been with her after her kidney transplant, and that she had been coerced into marrying me by those around her. She felt she had suffered a great deal, so she'd always been openly hostile towards Margaret, who had forcefully pressured her into marrying me, and had grown increasingly cold towards her own mother. All these years, only I had looked after both families. In the room, I lay on the bed and saw the hugging porcelain dolls on a nearby table. They were one white and one black, one large and one small. The black doll was holding the white doll tightly, as if providing it with the only safe harbor in the world. When saw these dolls being sold on the street, she absolutely loved them. "Liam, don't they look like us?" I looked at her gently. "Do you like them? If so, well, buy them." But looked at them for a while and then lost interest. "Never mind, these two are the same size. I still want one large and one small, the kind where you hold me in your arms." Because of that remark, I spent every day and night learning to make porcelain dolls. On her birthday in her freshman year, I made one as a gift and gave it to her, but I never imagined that, when she saw Marcus, she would casually set down the gift, still untied and unopened, and it would fall and shatter on the floor. The black doll shattered into pieces, while only the white doll remained intact. Seeing what was on the floor, Sophia froze. She seemed to remember something and looked at me with a guilty expression. Marcus stepped forward, trying to smooth things over. "Well, they say breaking things can sometimes bring good fortune." Later, the gift was never given. I could only glue it back together, but the cracks were very prominent, and it could no longer fit perfectly with the small white doll. My health deteriorated day by day, and my body grew heavier. At first, Sophia didn't bother with me, but then every few days she would call asking when I was coming back. I ignored all her calls and even blocked her number. Later, an unknown number called me. "Liam, have you caused enough trouble? Are you proud to see Sophia so distracted by you that she can't work properly?" I scoffed. "Didn't you want me to leave on my own? What's wrong?" Now that I am gone, her heart isn't with you. I hung up and blocked the number, but I couldn't help but open my social media feed. There, for several days in a row, I saw photos of Marcus taking Sophia out for lavish meals of seafood, meat, and various alcoholic drinks, but knew perfectly well that Sophia couldn't eat these things after her kidney transplant surgery. With company, Sophia gradually began to smile more, in a daze. I remembered there used to be days like this too, because I had always monitored Sophia's diet, even controlling my own cravings for her sake, but gradually, for Sophia, this wasn't care, it was one-sided control and manipulation, because I had deprived her of the right to enjoy good food. Yet, I would occasionally take Sophia to try street food, and high-calorie dishes. Later, I noticed she was getting closer and closer to Marcus, and I had a serious talk with her about it. She merely said they were just close friends, and told me not to baselessly accuse her. It wasn't until her junior year that I noticed she was eating less and less of the food I prepared, and that's when I grew suspicious. It turned out she was sneaking out to eat with Marcus every day. After filling up on outside food, she naturally couldn't eat what I prepared. That's why, in the year she graduated college, Sophia was diagnosed with diabetes, and her kidneys had failed to the point where she needed a transplant. And now, he was even more brazen, taking Sophia to social gatherings, drinking, and eating whatever she wanted. Does he think Sophia's kidney is indestructible? If you know what's good for you, let go. A struggling novelist whose income doesn't even amount to a fraction of Sophia's. What right do you have to cling to her? I glanced at it and blocked the number again, but I figured a CEO of a big company wouldn't be short of phone numbers. As my health deteriorated, I had no choice but to be hospitalized. Margaret and William seemed to sense something, and grew increasingly silent, staying with me in the hospital all day. With my heart struggling even to breathe, my kidney also began to protest. One night, half asleep, my phone rang again. Hello, is this Mr. Liam? I was about to curse but quickly stopped myself, looking at the unfamiliar number. I replied, yes, it is. The thing is, your wife, Sophia, is experiencing kidney rejection due to irregular eating habits, a chaotic routine, excessive drinking, and delayed medication. Would you be able to come here? My eyes widened in surprise, and my mind instantly cleared. Would die too. I just didn't know if I would die first or she would. I am sorry, I can't. I am hospitalized myself right now. The doctor on rounds heard the noise, walked over, and knocked on the door. Time to rest. Staying up late is bad for your health. An argument broke out on the other end of the line, and finally, the phone was in Sophia's hand. Liam, you might as well just die outside. Last time, when I had my kidney transplant, you didn't show up for a month, and now I am hospitalized, and is still not showing up. I really don't know what Margaret and William saw in you back then. I sighed and adjusted my position. Why do you think I didn't show up when you had your kidney transplant? Marcus quickly interrupted. Don't bring up that old stuff now. I am just asking if he coming back, or not. Now that Sophia is hospitalized, Sophia was also waiting for my reply. Our breathing grew heavy, as if a conflict was on the verge of erupting. I didn't dwell on it anymore. Have the divorce papers been signed? Sophia dismissed it nonchalantly. Don't make me hate you, Liam. If he's smart, come back soon, or don't blame me if I really divorce you. I couldn't believe she still thought I was clinging to her. Had I truly been that desperate? Wouldn't it be better if we owed each other nothing? From now on, you can go wherever you want, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, and be with whoever you want, and I, this control freak, won't be an eyesore or ruin your mood. What exactly is it about divorce that you're so unhappy with? Sophia's breathing was heavy, and her tone, though filled with rage, still suppressed her fury. Come back, well, talk when you're back, otherwise, it's off the table. Marcus' voice came through again. Sophia, why don't you just go find him and bring him back? I think if you don't give in, hell keep playing hard to get. Me go find him. Me give in? Are you kidding? He can come back or not. I don't care. He might as well just die out there. My heart felt like it had been violently hammered. I felt a sudden dizzy spell. My body lay perfectly still. I could hear the sounds from outside, but I couldn't react at all. Through a blur, the hospital room grew noisy, and from my phone, I heard Sophia's mocking voice, and Marcus' manipulative and two-faced tone. The beeping sound became my last memory. The heart failure has worsened. in the worst-case scenario, well, need to perform a heart and kidney transplant. If the condition is better, well, try general and drug therapy simultaneously first. The doctor's cold and somber words reached me. I opened my eyes. Margaret looked at the doctor pleadingly. Treat him. Well, treat everything, no matter the cost. Doctor, you must save our Liam. William was silent, but his face showed visible worry and anxiety. Even Davis had arrived at some point. She looked at me with particular heartache and guilt. A short while later, Mrs. Davis got through to Sophia on the phone. Sophia, where are you now? Liam is about to have surgery. Come back quickly and be with him. The other side was silent for a moment. Then Sophia's voice suddenly came out mockingly. Mom, I am hospitalized too right now. Why don't you tell Liam to come here? What? He hospitalized? Is it your kidney? Wait, I'll call Liam right now. Looking at me, swollen and pale in the hospital bed, forced into a sitting position by the doctor, Mrs. Davis suddenly fell silent. While I actively underwent treatment, my health continued to worsen, and my surgery couldn't be delayed any longer. Before the surgery, Margaret was still hesitating about whether to donate her kidney to me. I comforted her. Mom, don't worry, I am still young, I'll get better, Margaret said haltingly. All right, then play on your phone for a bit, relax. However, as soon as I took the phone, I saw Sophia's messages. My phone had been pushing countless online interviews with her from the past few days. She was wearing a pointer-style jacket identical to Marcus, looking perfectly in sync as she discussed business with Lumina. They truly are a match made in heaven. Exactly, I heard Cher's still Mr. Marcus' secretary, a power couple conquering the business world. What kind of novel romance is this? They should have been together for years, just waiting for them to make it official. Reading this, my chest grew tighter, my limbs went cold, and my lips turned blue, because had never let me appear before her colleagues at work and never wore our wedding ring. Very few people knew she was married, and those who did know she was married subtly tormented me, accusing me of trapping Sophia, this high-flying bird, and telling me to be sensible and step aside. Marcus was posting one ambiguous video after another on his social media feed. I had confronted Sophia about this before, but she claimed it was for the company's image, saying that only with unity within the company could they stabilize employee morale and earn others' trust. She said I didn't understand and told me to butt out. After I stopped interfering, they became even more brazen with their flirtatious interactions. Scrolling through the images, I also saw photos of them in different clothes. Marcus had his arm around Sophia's slender waist, echoing the crowd's expectations, while Sophia, petite and delicate, nestled close to Marcus. My heart felt clutched, my breathing grew more difficult, and cold sweat dripped from my forehead. Just then, my phone suddenly rang. In a haze, I answered the phone. Liam, if you've caused enough trouble, just come back. I admit I can't live without you. All right. Without you, I haven't been able to eat much these past few days. If you stop trying to control me so much, I can be nicer to you. I wanted to say she couldn't eat because the kidney in her body was overwhelmed, and that I wouldn't interfere with her anymore. But what came out was, have you signed the divorce papers? I won't sign them. Liam, how long do you plan to be stubborn? I am telling you, this is the last time I'll call you. From now on, even if you beg me, I won't give you a second glance. Though my vision blurred, my mind grew clearer. Let's get a divorce. Stop tormenting each other. Sophia impatiently cut me off. Don't even think about it. You've tormented me for years, and now we want to abandon me with just a word. I am telling you, and never divorce me in this lifetime. I have a meeting soon. I don't have time to waste talking to you. The call ended. My hands lost their strength, and my phone dropped to the floor with a thud. The piercing beeping of the ECG monitor filled the air, and I was wheeled into the operating room. Don't be afraid. Is still young, and the success rate of the surgery is very high. But unexpectedly, the moment my heart was opened, it immediately stopped. The doctors couldn't revive me. For some reason, my consciousness didn't fade. Instead, I found myself next to Sophia. Sophia's phone was connected to a large screen. She was clearly explaining the details of the collaboration to Lumina. My body was semi-transparent. I couldn't touch anything and couldn't even move more than 3 meters away from Sophia. A moment later, the image on the screen changed to an incoming call from Mrs. Davis. The assistant, who was helping out, accidentally hit answer, and the call was put on speaker. Sophia, come back quickly, your husband. Liam, he's dead. Mrs. Davis' choked voice was clearly audible to everyone. Sophia was stunned by the news. Disregarding the ongoing meeting, she picked up her phone. Mom, wasn't it Liam who told you to do this? I am in a meeting right now. Can you tell him to stop causing trouble and holding me back? Noises came from the other end, and here, people's gazes toward Sophia began to turn strange. Marcus stepped forward, trying to stabilize the situation. It's a scam call, Sophia. Liam had kidney and heart failure when he died. The doctor said he might have experienced some kind of shock beforehand, which caused his emotions to spike during surgery, leading to immediate cardiac arrest, and they couldn't save him. Sophia stumbled backward against the large display screen, her face pale and drained of color. Her phone clattered to the floor. In short, come back and see him one last time. Liam's parents are taking him away. Marcus grabbed Sophia. You can't leave. If you leave now, everyone will know you're a married woman, and everything we've worked for all these years will be ruined. Besides, there's nothing Liam wouldn't do to make you come back. Have you forgotten that time when you were on an overseas business trip, and Mrs. Davis said he fainted and went to the hospital? You went back, but he was perfectly fine. As if remembering that incident, Sophia calmed down again. I remembered that time, because I had hidden my illness. Sophia thought I simply wanted to control her, and keep her from being too far away, and we had a fierce argument. For a period after that, she moved into Marcus' house. No matter how I tried to explain and tell her to come back, she ignored me. I understand. The meeting is important. Although she said the meeting was important, Sophia was clearly distracted. After that, Sterling was inundated with negative news online, likely spread by Marcus' competitors. Having finally latched onto this point, both Marcus and Sophia suffered a significant impact, because had an affair with a married woman. The older generation in the company began to doubt his character, and his position became precarious. As for Sophia, she was subjected to baseless speculation about her unscrupulous means of rising, with words like cheater, seducer, and slut hurled at her. Suddenly, everyone looked at her strangely. After returning home, Sophia paced anxiously. Soon after, she dialed my number. Hello, Liam. A soft, yet mournful female voice paused on the other end. Is this Sophia? I am Liam's friend. His phone is with me. For now, you can tell me whatever you want to say. Sophia exploded when she heard this. Why do you have Liam's phone? Give him back his phone. I need to talk to him. Ha, you're still so unreasonable. He's dead. If you don't believe me, why don't you go die yourself? After a moment, Margaret's voice came through from the other end. Oh, it's this person again. Not important. If they call again later, just hang up. No, actually, block them. Then's phone emitted a busy signal. After that, no matter how many times she tried to call, it showed that the user was busy and couldn't answer. The woman earlier was actually my cousin, Mia, because used to have only me by her side. She was always afraid someone would take me away, and she would get incredibly agitated whenever anyone appeared near me. Over time, I had fewer and fewer people around me. Eventually, she was the only one left. Sophia's face went blank for a moment. She stumbled while going back to her room to get her ID and personal documents, then frantically booked a plane ticket to return. But when she returned, she couldn't even see me one last time. Looking at my body being cremated, she rushed forward like a madwoman, trying to stop the crematorium staff. Liam isn't dead. He's not dead. You're all lying to me. Liam, get up. Sophia looked disheveled. One of her shoes was missing because she had run so fast on the way. Margaret, who had been staring blankly, tears streaming down her face, saw Sophia approach and went over to slap her hard. What are you doing here? Get out. You don't deserve to be here. Mrs. Davis firmly shielded Sophia. In-law, hit me instead. Hit me. It's my fault for not raising my child properly. It's my mistake. Mom, let go. Liam is still lying there. If you don't let him get up, he'll be burned. Mrs. Davis broke down crying. My daughter, Liam is already dead. Please, be clear-headed, because was disrupting the funeral. People were holding her, about to remove her. Finally, she knelt on the ground, pleading desperately, and everyone decided to turn a blind eye, allowing her to attend the rest of my funeral. I looked at my corpse, where a ring was still firmly placed, and felt like I couldn't even leave cleanly. Not being able to get a divorce smoothly was my biggest regret. After the cremation, Sophia tried to snatch my ashes, but Margaret and William protected me. preventing her from taking me to a lonely city again. I made my home there, back in the city I knew, but my soul, still restless, watching her in that dazed state, I found it extremely strange. Sapphire, can you also show an expression like that? As I watched, I started to laugh. There's no need for this anymore. You might as well let me go early. I pondered why I was appearing by Sapphire's side. Was it because a kidney that belonged to me was still vividly beating inside her body? She couldn't enter my family's home, and Mrs. Davis would remember me every time she saw Sapphire. The two of them grew increasingly silent when they faced each other. Soon after, Marcus arrived. Sapphire, don't blame yourself. Whose fault is it if he had poor health? Mrs. Davis' expression grew agitated as she looked at him. You were the one who seduced my Sapphire. If it weren't for you, how would Sapphire and Liam have ended up like this? Sapphire suddenly stood up. Mom, what are you talking about? Marcus was the one who found me a kidney back then. I am just grateful to him. My heart throbbed with a dull ache. Marcus found the kidney, but never told me about this. Even when I repeatedly urged Sapphire not to get too close to Marcus, she never said it was because he donated a kidney to her, and she was repaying him. Mrs. Davis' expression became agitated. He donated a kidney to you. He. Marcus quickly interrupted. That's enough, Mrs. Davis. Sapphire is very upset right now. Mrs. Davis looked at Sapphire with a cold face, as if she no longer recognized her daughter. From now on, I have no daughter like you. Someone like you doesn't deserve to be Liam's wife, nor do you deserve to be my daughter. I was originally puzzled as to why Mrs. Davis would say such things, but I never expected the truth to come out so quickly and cruelly. Marcus, Liam had bad luck. Don't blame yourself. Right now, the important thing is our public image issue. We can just push all the blame onto Liam. After all, there's no one left to refute it. Sapphire was silent for a long time, before she slumped onto the sofa, defeated. You should leave. Marcus, don't come looking for me anymore. Think clearly. Is it worth sacrificing your bright future for a dead man? As long as you cooperate with me, we can even work together to reach new heights. We just say Liam coerced. Enough. Liam is already dead. How much more do you want to degrade him? Sapphire abruptly stood up, cutting Marcus off. Marcus sneered. Me degrade him? Weren't you the one who always degraded him? If it weren't for your actions, he wouldn't have died without even notifying you. Sapphire frantically clutched at her hair. I just couldn't stand his control. Marcus looked down at her. Was it his control you couldn't stand, or the fact that he donated a kidney to you? And I never expected that, after all this, he would choose to tell Sapphire the truth. That kidney wasn't. You know best, don't you? You clearly knew Liam donated a kidney to you, yet you freely subjected him to emotional abuse. Weren't you deliberately getting close to me to provoke Liam into divorcing you? As long as he initiated the divorce, you could easily get rid of him. Otherwise you would forever be suffocated by the weight of that kidney. Sapphire bit her lip until blood seeped out, but she didn't loosen her grip. Marcus continued. I saw it. I saw you asking the doctor about Liam's health after he was hospitalized, but after that, when Liam finally recovered enough to visit you, you complained that he didn't even come to take care of you when you were hospitalized, and you spoke only with gratitude for a fictional kind donor of a kidney. I felt as if I had been struck by lightning, but on second thought, it made sense. After all, as the saying goes, a great favor can breed resentment. She couldn't face me, who appeared before her every day after we married, and my very existence constantly reminded her that she was alive only because of me. Initially, I didn't tell her the truth precisely because I feared this situation would arise. I never imagined she knew from the start. But it didn't matter. I didn't care. I just wanted to leave this place quickly. Sapphire forced Marcus out. After, Davis also disowned her. She seemed to remember something, and rushed back to our home in the other city. Upon entering, she ransacked the house, turning everything exceptionally messy. Finally, in the drawer of my room, she found the ring she had carelessly tossed aside. I then saw her pull out a ring, blackened by fire, from somewhere. My ring was on her right middle finger, but its oversized fit was clearly mismatched. Her own ring, meanwhile, was on her right index finger. The two rings were close together, yet seemingly trying to avoid each other. I found it somewhat amusing that the presence she once desperately avoided was now something she was desperately trying to fit herself into. Sapphire, as if drained of all strength, covered her face with her hands and sobbed softly. The ash from the ring muddied her tears, which streamed down her pale hands. Seeing this, she took off the ring again and meticulously wiped it clean, but that ring had been on my finger for too long. No matter how much she cleaned it, it would never look as new as hers. Physically and mentally exhausted, Sophia collapsed onto my bed, tightly wrapping herself in the blanket. Liam, Liam. I am sorry. I watched her call my name repeatedly, yet my heart remained completely unmoved. After she hadn't eaten or drunk anything for 2 or 3 days, Mrs. Davis suddenly called. What is all that stuff online? It's full of photos of you seducing Marcus, and hiding that you were a married woman, Sophia. Liam was so good to you. Was it just so you'd be free to cheat without consequences? When heard this, she abruptly stood up, then felt a wave of dizziness and fell backward onto the bed. Sophia went to the company, found Marcus, and furiously threw her phone down in front of him. Marcus, haven't I told you not to degrade Liam? Do you think I don't know about your affairs? Marcus walked towards Sophia with a gentle smile. Don't get so agitated. Honestly, the moment I saw you, I knew you and I were the same kind of people, callous and unfeeling. What are you talking about? I am not like you. Marcus then pulled up photos on his phone. I saw, to my horror, a video of Sophia and Marcus in bed. Look, does Liam know about you in this position in bed? Oh, I forgot. You were too scared to sleep with him, weren't you? I looked at these things in disbelief. I had only ever suspected Sophia, but I never imagined this. Sometimes when she came home after a night or two, I would even feel bad, seeing her tired and weary. And if there were red marks on her neck, I'd assume it was because she had sensitive skin that marks easily, but I never imagined. My stomach churned, because was certain Sophia wouldn't dare contradict him, fearing he would publish those intimate photos. But I never expected Sophia had nothing left to lose. She opened my computer, and after seeing Marcus' social media posts, that were visible only to me, immediately contacted someone to expose them. She operated it with practiced ease, but I felt a chill, because she must have known all along that Marcus deliberately showed these things to me. Perhaps, she even allowed it, right? Marcus said they could use each other's phones. So, did Sophia have a hand in these videos too? Sophia quickly sent out her own chat logs. I saw on it that Marcus said he would help Sophia find another kidney donor compatible with me, and in exchange, Sophia had to help him falsify accounts and sleep with him, because had a kidney transplant, her physical condition wasn't suitable for pregnancy. Her mother had her get sterilized before the wedding, and I agreed because I didn't want to put more pressure on Sophia. I never imagined this decision would make things easier for Marcus and Sophia. Watching them turn against each other, I felt a rare sense of satisfaction. The online reactions were quite something too. This scandal is making me sick to my stomach. I am about to throw up. Her kidney was from her husband, and she secretly slept with another man, and committed fraud behind his back, all just to find her husband another kidney. There's almost an intense, toxic romance vibe to it. Bullshit. Don't think she's some saint. She probably only reluctantly agreed to Marcus just to relieve stress. I have insider info. Don't see Sophia as some deeply devoted person. Margaret and William rushed over from hometown without delay, and even Mrs. Davis came. They didn't even spare Sophia a glance. They had lawyers and a few relatives. They'd brought along escort Sophia to court. The wedding ring on Sophia's hand, which belonged to me, was taken off, and the divorce petition was approved at lightning speed. I felt free, but not quite free enough. Looking at my parents, whose hair was turning grey rapidly, I sadly gave them a silent embrace from afar. Sophia and Marcus were taken away by the police. Word is, they won't be getting out in this lifetime. Not long after being in prison, Sophia's kidney rapidly failed. Before she died, she wanted to be buried together with me. Margaret scoffed when she heard that request. Get her out of here. Don't let that person defile my child. Tears of regret streamed down Sophia's face, but Margaret rushed over that very night. The kidney in that woman's body belongs to my child. She has to give it back. In the end, Sophia and I completely cut ties. I don't know if there's a next life for me, but no matter what, I hope that in my next life, I can be more discerning and not ruin my life again for someone who isn't worth it.